Dalovina guia dolosana angito talita kini ana warong ng Bula FM e Golden Point Resort basendo nambando ana here binaka.
Bula binaka na dang kutevita utunggoy 90 ando talita ka wale warong ng Bula FM nambando ana sir.
Na dang ko makilesi werkraki NSB ng Bula FM nambando ana sir.
Hello nga ratu kitchen ng Gatabo ando talita na warong ng Bula FM nambando ana sir ngo lusu.
Bula FM nambando ana sir.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Amrit Priyadarshini. Tonight, murder investigation closes in on suspect. 7 more drivers arrested for drink and drive. And hundreds march in Suva to celebrate Resurrection Day. There needs to be more stronger evidence collected for investigations on serious crimes, and assistance from the public is one that will greatly help. Now, police have confirmed that investigations surrounding the death of 14-year-old Mere Alevo of Deumba has progressed quickly due to information gathered from the community.
2 weeks of investigation is almost coming to an end to find the real perpetrator that brutally murdered Mere Alevo, Year 7 student of Lomeri Primary School in Pacific Harbour. Police Chief of Operations ACP Rusiata Tunravo told FBC News more witnesses have come forward with relevant information.
This kind of serious cases, you need all people to come out and people to come out boldly in order for the investigators to piece information together and then have a concrete evidence for us to charge people that are suspect at this point in time. And I'm just pleading to the members of the community at large that offences are being committed just amongst themselves. So there should be a link somewhere prior or after the incident that happened.
Parents and guardians are reminded to be vigilant nowadays with the increase in child sex attacks around the country. Negligence on their parts will be investigated by police.
Yeah, that will be determined by the investigation, the outcome of investigation. Should there be evidence that is pointing at negligence, and then I think the investigator can lay charge on that. But that cannot be ruled out. As I've stated, it's always based on the evidence on hand gathered by the investigators.
A 39-year-old suspect is currently being questioned for the alleged rape and murder of Mere Alevo and has been charged with rape of 2 other girls on different occasions. The suspect, Joshua Dolanaundolo, is charged with allegedly raping a 13-year-old girl in 1998 and another 16-year-old girl in 2002. These 2 cases of rape emerged when police started investigating Alevo's case. He appeared in court last week charged with another count of rape of a 16-year-old girl in 2012. Dolanaundolo will reappear in court on the 1st of next month. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
7 more drivers have been arrested following the 6 that were produced in court yesterday for driving under the influence of alcohol. Police Chief of Operations ACP Rusiate Tundravu says repeated warnings seem to be falling on deaf ears. Savara Tambua reports.
Arrangements have been made for a special court sitting tomorrow for 7 drivers that were arrested in the last 24 hours. Of these, 2 drivers are from the Western Division and 5 from Suva alone.
Despite reminders, despite Fiji Police and the Land Transport Authority joint operations undergoing, yet people are still very irresponsible on the things that we do. However, as I've stated that we are on the watch, should you would like to take head-on the law into your own court, and then this is the consequence that will be taking in people. They are in custody and they will be appearing in custody.
LTA's Chief Executive Naisa Tunadeva says that they will come down hard on those that are still trying to take these warnings lightly.
We are so grateful and appreciate the support also that are coming from the public that are reporting on cases where they see people drink and driving. And for those that are doing that, I know that some still have the habit of doing it. we are going to take you to task. If we come across some cases where you've been drinking, driving, and violating all the traffic laws, in being a threat on the road, we are going to take you to task.
Over the last 72 hours, 207 drivers have been booked for speeding, 11 for careless driving, and 50 for other offences. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
Today is one of the most important days on every Christian calendar. The day that Jesus rose again from the dead after he died on the cross 3 days ago. A march was held in Suva this afternoon to remember his sacrifices. Kelly Vadala reports.
Today's march resembles the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and this year's theme, Rise with Christ, shows the idea of a nation rising from the devastation of tropical cyclone Winston. More than 10 different Christian denominations joined in the march that attracted a large crowd in the capital.
It's a rise with Christ, and the thought behind it is that people are down now, and now that today is the resurrection day, that it would encourage people to stand up and face the reality and move on from where they are right now. So it is a rise with Christ, which is the main theme of the Christian calendar, especially the Good Friday and the Easter holidays.
Reverend Nawandra is encouraging the public to unite and work together to rebuild the lives that were ruined by the Category 5 cyclone.
Communal aspect of our life seems to be disappearing. So at this time we want to show that we in Fiji, because of the nature that we have, can live communally and to try and help the others, especially those that are in difficult situations.
Members of the various church organizations have also been urged to take up a trauma counseling workshop organized by the Methodist Church of Fiji to offer advice to those in affected communities. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
The Rock Market is one of the longest-running vendor events in Suva, held every third Sunday of the month. Now, plans are in place to extend the street market at Loftus Street right to Carnarvon Street. Kelly Vadala once again tells us more.
Since its inception in 2000, the Rock Market has grown bigger, catering for artisans and those that make their own homemade products sold directly to customers. The increase in vendors has forced organizers to expand the business.
My plans for the Rock Market is to extend the market. I think what I'd like to do is look at the market in its current form and expand it in terms of, like, we've currently been using only Loftus Street for 16 years. I want to take it down Carnarvon Street, and as we move closer towards the end of the year, like from August onwards, I'd like to also take out Gladstone Street.
The extension will enable small businesses to have sufficient space to sell their products and easily allow customers to move freely while shopping.
What Suva lacks is a dignified, interesting, elevated, well presented and curated space for people that are doing niche small businesses to be presented well.
The extension has been well received by the huge crowd that flocked to the busy street market.
I think it's great. Yeah, I love it. Especially with this small walk too. It would be great if we expose other local artists who can sell their stuff.
The Rock Market has been able to create online services to market the event, which has generated lots of interest. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Coming up on FBC News, 90-year-old Jay Narayan shares his struggles, achievements and success.
I love listening to Gold FM at Golden Point Resort. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is General from Rakiriki Village. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic.
I'm Moses from Valeu. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Marida Manako. I'm from Kandavu. I like listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Tilipa from Tavo Town. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the...
Welcome back to FBC News. It will take around 2 months for vegetable supply to normalize in our local markets, while root crops will take close to 8 months or a year. This has been confirmed by the Agriculture Ministry as farmers begin replanting after the devastation caused by TC Winston. Madhim Boletamana with the details.
Good farming techniques and best packaging practices by farmers in the aftermath of tropical cyclone Winston has seen a steady supply of vegetables and root crops prevalent in the market.
But we are so lucky that the recovery of the vegetables in the vegetable growing area is a little bit quicker, and that is why we see vegetables coming in quicker back into the market. Because it was just a few package of practices that farmers carried out that allowed to maintain the standing crop and that had allowed the crops to come back into the market.
But this will not last long, as a lull is expected to be upon us in the not so distant future.
But for root crop, like I've said, it will take another 8-9 months before we can stabilize the market, especially for the export market for taro into Australia and into New Zealand, and also cassava. But like I've said, the price is dictated by supply and demand. So when there is a shortage of supply, definitely prices will always increase.
On the possibility of regulating the market prices in the future, this is what Wembuta has to say.
Well, from the ministry's perspective, we are not really trying to encourage that area. We want the market to dictate itself. And like I've said, if the supply is less, if the price has to increase, so be it. The consumers not really will suffer some of the situation that they will face for this short period of time. But otherwise, when supply comes back into the market, then definitely the price should drop.
The Agriculture Ministry has been distributing seeds and seedlings to farmers around the country with the hope of replenishing vegetable and root crop stocks. Madhim Boletamana, FBC News.
An expert has been in the country for a week now, assisting in psychiatric needs of young children affected by TC Winston. Dr. Chia Granda has met with hundreds of children and is now working with the Fiji Red Cross.
Child psychiatrist Dr. Chia Granda has been working closely with the Fiji Red Cross on how best to administer psychological first aid. This after spending the past week meeting with hundreds of children in Nandi, Lautoka, Ba, and Rakiraki who all showed some signs of psychological trauma.
We are working on psychological first aid, which includes engaging the community, providing safety, comfort and stabilization, gathering information, connecting folks with people who are able to provide support and providing information on coping.
Dr. Granda says it's extremely important for health professionals, first aid responders and major agencies in the country to know how to and when to provide psychological first aid when going out to areas affected by TC Winston.
We want to be making sure that we are paying attention to their needs, looking at what they're telling us and what their behavior is telling us, giving them time and space to tell their stories, acknowledge and validate their feelings, and look for any concerns with their sleep or their appetite, their play, their mood, and make sure that they have the right support around them.
Local authorities say that cases which do come forward will be given proper care and people will be counseled. Dr. Granda's visit and work in the West was made possible by the Fiji Mental Health Association, Thunder Flowers and the South Sea Orchids. Akosita Talei, FBC News.
One of the pioneer educators of the country, Jane Ryan, says only hard work and dedication can give you success in life. Our Successful Fijian segment this week features Jane Ryan, born in Nandi in 1926, who celebrated his 90th birthday on Wednesday last week. Farzana Nisha has more.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
It was not an easy journey growing up without a father in an era where life was a struggle. As people worked on sugarcane fields to support their families, Jane Ryan lost his father at the tender age of 8 and was left to his mother and paternals to raise him and his 7 siblings.
Those days were the days of a joint family, an extended family. And when my father was the eldest son, and my uncles, my kaka, they were the younger ones. So when my father died, my uncle and other family members took, started looking after us, and my mother stayed there. And our children, we were totally about, not about, 6 brothers and 2 sisters.
Narayan started his primary education at Natambua Lautoka in 1843, joined Nasinu Teachers College in 1947, where he obtained a teacher's certificate and started his teaching career in 1949 at Votulevu Primary School.
Not very easy for them to pay my uncle and others, they got together, fork out money, and then paid my fees because hostel fees was big in those days. And the earning was not very big, the people, and the only thing they depended on sugarcane farming, nothing more than that. So it was a difficult time for my family members to support me.
He says it wasn't until the end of World War II in 1945 that Fijians realized the importance of education.
Indian parents became more enlightened, and there was a craze to send the children to high school, and there were no high school. So here in Suba, there was a Malay school from Maris Brothers was here in Suba, and Lalini was in Surrey, but there were no other schools.
Narayan was later awarded a scholarship to study in India in 1950, where he met his late wife Irene J. Narayan. He lost his wife in 2011, leaving behind 3 sons, a daughter and 7 grandchildren. He joined J. Narayan College, which was earlier known as Indian College, in 1962 as a teacher and later became a principal, holding the position for 32 years. At that time, the school had only one single-story building and was later built into a double-story building.
I want to live longer and take the school further up the ladder.
Narayan says youths of today should aim for higher as they have all the facilities at their disposal.
Work with dedication, work honestly, and if you work hard, it's ordinary people, who achieve great things,
Narayan says a successful Fijian is a giver and not selfish.
That person is prepared to forget his own racial identity and treats everybody as one, and takes part in affairs of different people, and shares their good time and bad time, and if somebody is suffering, he is prepared to share it.
He is still active even at the age of 90 by reading books and doing yoga to maintain his health. He was also awarded with the Officer of the Order of Fiji in 2004, the highest honor of the Fijian honor system. He has been with J. Narayan College for the past 52 years and is currently the school manager without salary despite being offered. Farzana Nisha, FBC News.
Successful Fiji is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Coming up in sports, Nandolo continues try-scoring form. And Suva continues prep for OFC Champions League. We'll have this and more after the break.
एलिन लटका में मिर्ची एफएम को लॉक कर दिया जाए। मिर्ची एफएम, इट्स हॉट।
हम नकाशी से सामान है, हम वेजिटेबल जैसे नंबर 1 है, वैसे मिर्ची एफएम नंबर 1 है।
माय नेम इज दिनेश, हम नैंडी में काम करता है, स्लीपिंग जायंट जिपलाइन में, और मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट, आई लाइक इट।
मिर्ची एफएम। Welcome to FBC Sports. Nemani Nandolo scored one of the Crusaders' 3 tries for a 1914 win over the Sharks in Super Rugby this morning. The big Fijian winger was in menacing form as the Crusaders slowly worked their way up to the points ladder to 5th spot after 4 matches. Chalindo Dakavaka reports.
The numbers lined up here, plenty of them. They need to move.
He scored 2 tries against Southern Kings last week. This week, Nemane Nandola was back to his try-scoring best with another try as the Crusaders came from behind to beat the Sharks 19-14 in an evenly contested match.
Again, like you said, he's so strong. He takes 2-3 players with him, this man.
The ball, the Brumbies searching for a bit of width.
The Brumbies maintained their lead in the Australian Conference with a 25-18 win over the Cheetahs this morning. The Canberra side ran in 3 tries, with Christian Leleafano slotting in a conversion and 2 penalties.
The retreating scrum, but PC.
Fijian flanker Andrundur Talo scored a try for the Sunwolves, but could not help the Japanese franchise as they succumbed to a 30-27 loss to the Bulls, their 4th straight defeat in as many matches.
Debrasini has gifted it.
Patrick Osborne returned from a hip injury to score this intercept try for the Highlanders in their 27-3 win over the Melbourne Rebels.
And make the Rebels pay big time.
Comes out for Leach, away to Weber.
The win keeps the Highlanders a point off the competition leaders, the Chiefs, which scored a 53-10 thrashing over the Western Force, with centre Charlie Ngatai scoring 4 tries.
Chant goes up from the Chiefs, through the heads, Charlie Ngata's on.
The Stormers secured their 3rd win of the season with a 13-8 win over the Jaguars. Talent Odakadaka, FBC Sports.
Endurance was an area of concern following the first Vodafone Fiji Mbati Elite Squad fitness test in Suva yesterday. Over 40 local players turned up for the test, which included a 40-metre dash and a 1.4-kilometre run at the Fiji Sports Council car park. Results from the fitness test will be sent to coach Mick Potter, who is based in Newcastle, Australia, as he builds his squad for the May 7 test against Papua New Guinea.
The level of endurance level is very low. So hopefully in the next month, people will try to improve on the endurance. And if we just see the beep test today, level 12 was the maximum level that one of the players reached. So it just indicates the level of how the players are preparing themselves for the coming season.
Local players who do not make the cut for the Fiji Mbati will be considered for the Fiji resident squad tour to Canada in July. The Suva football side is stepping up the ante in its OFC Champions League preparations. The men in white are holding a 3-match friendly series with the Rewa side, which serves as a solid build-up for both teams. Chalendo Dakadaka has more.
Lack of game time has been the biggest setback for the Suva side as it prepares for the OFC Champions League in New Zealand in 2 weeks' time. The side played a friendly match against Bar last week, and 2 games against Rewa over the past 2 days has helped the team fine-tune its combination.
This week we had all the boys, so the combination is working, and these build-up games will really have a, I will be able to look at the performance of all the players and see if they are combining, and this is really good for us, and we want to play some more games, and hopefully we play more games so that the combination comes right.
Rewa has also benefited from the friendly matches as it prepares for the Vodafone Premier League clash against Mba next weekend.
Opportune time for us to really pick up from where we left before the cyclone. I think at the same time we're trying to accommodate new players that have joined. This gives me an opportunity to look at them and gauge them on how they can gel in with the rest of the players.
The final friendly match between the two sides will take place tomorrow. Suva will take on Team Wellington in its opening match in the OFC Champions League on the 9th of April in Auckland. Talento Dakavaka, FBC Sports.
Junior players are hitting their best form in the Easter Open Tennis Championship in Lautoka this weekend to try and impress national selectors. A record turnout of 113 players are competing in the tournament, some coming from as far as Australia, Vanuatu, Tuvalu and Samoa. National selectors will identify players from the 4-day competition to represent the country in the West Pacific qualifying tournament in May.
We are really grateful and thankful for the participants from overseas who have come over here to give our own local players a go. It's because it's all about experience, gaining exposure, playing different players from different countries, and we are hoping to have more competitions like this, and then and then developing as many juniors as possible and getting these tournaments up to the level that we require.
And the semi-finals, which were to be held this afternoon, is deferred to tomorrow due to rain. Athletics Fiji is impressed by the level of talent being unearthed in its weekly competitions at the ANZ Stadium in Suva. Following the national championship that came to an end yesterday, 2 athletes competed in the heptathlon event, which is a demanding discipline involving both track and field events.
With the likes of Attila Inoke and Rosa Mandingi, after a long time, then we've gotten 2 heptathletes. And both of them actually did fairly well, putting themselves well in contention for a spot in the under 18 and open grade for the Melanesian Games. And being first timers in the heptathlon event, they actually did very well. And we were quite young, but we're very, very encouraged by the fact that they have a long way ahead of them.
Athletics Fiji is also scouting local athletes to select the national squad for the Melanesian Games, which will be held in Suva from July 6th to the 9th. Showers prevailed over the east today. Elsewhere, fine apart from afternoon showers and isolated thunderstorms was experienced. Ba was the coolest today on 29 degrees. Suva and Lambasa was on 31, while Nandi received the highest temperature today on 32 degrees. Tomorrow you can expect cloudy and fine weather in the morning for majority of the centres, but showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon are expected. As for the further outlook, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots and moderate seas. Recapping our headlines, murder investigation closes in on suspect. 7 more drivers arrested for drink and drive cases last night. And hundreds march in Suva to celebrate Resurrection Day. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. We move on to this week's poll question. Is Fiji progressing well after TC Winston? To answer, visit our FBC website. You can also send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. Good night.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka, and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Ulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.